All right, everybody, it's time for your weeklies this week. So I pulled one card from the Runes Oracle deck, and Manas is what we all got. Okay, so this is talking about cooperation, universal sort of love, universal understanding, realizing that we are all connected, we are all tied by some sort of fabric, right? It really talks about the fabric of humanity and your relationships with other people and the relationship with yourself. It's a very Aquarian card, and I was going to get ready to do the Aquarian reading for YouTube, but I don't have time today because I'm teaching ballet in Connecticut, so I'm just going to do the weeklies and post them. But this is what we're talking about. And then the other card that we got is the Three of Blades, which is talking about mourning from the Native American Tarot deck. So we are experiencing some restrictions and maybe some losses and realities in relationships, right? Aries, we're going to pull your card for the week. You got the Eight of Blades. It's called Captive. So you guys might just be, in your head about some things. You're kind of letting yourself get a little bit overwhelmed by your own thought process. And this is kind of like you're almost at that place where it's a little bit too much. You just need to take a deep breath, calm down, realize that everything is going to be okay. You've got the strength and the courage right now. That's being tested. Mars is actually in your sign, so it's saying that you really need not worry about any of the obstacles that may be getting in the way of your pride, because you do have your planetary ruler in your sign right now. So it really is just saying, have a clear communication, maybe give yourself the mental breaks that you need, that type of thing. Short getaways. Taurus, let's see what your card is this week in regards to relationships and also universal understanding. You got the Four of Blades, so it's very and we're all in the head this week so far. This is Jupiter in Libra, so you are really taking a step back from your relationships with other people, and you're focusing on yourself this week. You're focusing on your psychological stability, your mental structure, or your mental stability in your psychological structure. You're asserting yourself in a way where it's almost like Mars being in your 12th house, right? In Aries is almost like influencing you in a subconscious way, in a more spiritual way, to really step back and make those clear demands for yourself that you need in order to assert yourself in a different type of way. You're gaining more perspective, actually. Gemini, let's see what's going on with you this week in terms of your relationships and how you connect to everyone out there and your own individuality. You also got a Blades card. This is the Two of Blades, which is talking about the Travois. You are making decisions, right, to go and, do things on your own. You're realizing that the choices that you make are going to also warrant some consequences, right? So you might be being a little bit hesitant as to choosing which direction you're going in. And for you, that's very confusing because you're already an air sign that's very quick moving and there's a lot of activity going on. So when you have to slow down and make a decision and weigh things out, you might be feeling weighed down or you might be feeling slowed down. So just kind of give yourself the mental clarity that you need to make choices. Cancer, let's see what's going on with you this week in terms of how you deal with people. Okay, and the relationship with yourself and your relationships that may have been ending or changing for you. You're understanding that there is a give and take, that there is an ebb and a flow within relationships, right? So you understand that even though you might be distant from some people or feeling that way this week, you are also taking that time to sort of benefit from that by being more emotionally connected to yourself if you're not in a relationship. Some of you are actually, realizing that a relationship has changed for you in a way that you anticipated, in a way that you may have seen forcing it, right? You felt it from a subconscious place. It was something that was hidden from you that you probably didn't want to admit to, but maybe other people, maybe friends of yours were sort of like alluding to it. And now you're really accepting it and you're understanding it more. Leo, let's see what's going on with you. I just gave you your reading. You got the Tower, Maiden of Vessels. Okay, so some of you might be going through something, you know. I think that you might be needing some nurturing right now. You might even need to be figuring out ways to create more nurturing experiences for yourself. Also, you may even be sort of like reaching out to other people, or you might even be a little bit like, you know, throwing the nurturing in other places because it's almost like you might be deflecting from your own feelings. Really look at your feelings and go in and see what it is that you need. You might need a confidence boost. Definitely, and you could definitely use, the advice of other people that are within a strong unit of yours to give you some advice, right? Express these things that you're feeling to people that care. I feel like that's very informative for you. Virgo, what's going on with you this week? Chief of Blades. So you actually are fine with this energy of like, understanding how you relate to society and other people, right? You're keeping your distance because for you, you definitely need that alone time, much like Pisces, because you are processing so many things sometimes. You work with the mind, but you also work with the mind in terms of like bringing things down to reality and making them function in a way that's going to be very productive and something that is very reasonably successful. Yeah, and for you, you see loss of relationships as like more space for you to like delegate things, or not even losses of relationships, but like new realities that might bring about space and time within relationships. You're fine with that. Libras, fam. Yes. The Maiden of Pipes. Okay, so you guys are being very business savvy this week. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Sun, Moon, and Rising goes for all of these signs. You definitely are being more, why am I saying impetuous? No. Some of you might be being impetuous. Some of you are really going after what you want. Some of you have these ideas that you want to see, carried out into action. Some of you are really starting to figure out ways that you can produce things for yourself, and you might be being very creative. Some of you feel like you might even want to dance, you might even want to write, you might even want to like sing, you might even want to paint. Whatever form of creativity that you can put into action, that you've been feeling, go ahead and do that because it's really going to nurture part of your experience and make you feel like you're actually doing something, getting out there and being active. It's good. Scorpio, let's see what's going on with you. Sundance. Okay, so some of you might be feeling very dreamy. Some of you might be aware of a partnership that you might have to put on hold, or you might be waiting to see where an understanding goes between you and someone. My gosh, this is Neptune energy, so some of you might even be paying attention to your dreams right now. You might even find that like you're daydreaming about things that you don't even know like where they're coming from, right? But you have a feeling that they might be connected to something that might be really going on. You know what I mean? You guys are feeling very intuitive this week, and you guys are also, just taking some time to take space away from other people so that you're not so emotionally affected by them. Sagittarius, what's going on with you? Fire, fire. Matriarch of Blades. Okay, so this is the Queen of Swords. And I'm just going to start calling these cards what they actually say because it's the Native American tarot deck, okay? Matriarch of Blades, you're searching for the truth in a situation, or you might just be processing some information, some documents. You might be weighing some things out. You might be signing some contracts. You could be renewing some contracts, or you might just be reconnecting with some people and making plans to do some things, or making plans to like share ideas, or that type of thing. This is Libra energy, so you could be initiating, new relationships, or you might even be getting some social events or some social gatherings together. You might want to share some ideas about an event with some people, how you can make it like fun and beautiful and pleasurable, but simple and also classy, that type of thing. Capricorn, your season, yeah. Okay, wow. You got the Justice card. So some of you are definitely dealing with some relationships here. Yeah? And I don't know what your reading was like, but you can go to YouTube and see what that reading was like for this month, because I'm sure you got one. This is a higher octane of, the number 2. So this is kind of like marriage. Some of you might be getting proposed to. Some of you may have gotten proposed to over the new year and you're really excited about that. Or some of you are starting to realize that a relationship has changed for you and it might actually be for the better for you. It's going to make you achieve more of a balance of a sense of self. You might actually even be dealing with a Taurus, another earth sign, some of you might be, or even a Gemini. Are you guys in relationships with Tauruses or Geminis? Or even Cancers? Aquarius, your card for this week, Chief of Pipes. Okay, so this is fixed fire. This is Sagittarius energy. Some of you might be dealing with a Sagittarius. Some of you actually might be dealing with a Libra. Or some of you might be dealing with an Aries, okay? I don't know why I'm saying all of that. But you guys are really starting to figure out what it is that you want to do, right? And you're not going to really compromise on that. You're sort of fixed on this idea of what action you want to carry out, and you're starting to see it come into more focus, because this is a card of focusing on your actions and what it is that you intend to do. So you definitely have your eye on the prize, so to speak, and you aren't going to give up on what it is that you want. Pisces, what's going on with y'all this week? Chief of Vessels, King of Cups. So some of you guys might be dealing with, your own emotions and trying to handle them. This is fixed water, so it's Scorpio energy. So it's one of transformation from a depth of emotion, right? And a feeling of maybe, some nostalgia, maybe some pain, some resentment, maybe some feelings of desire, and you might be feeling like you might want to release something that may be holding on to you. It may have its emotional grip on you. There is a cleansing that might need to take place, or a purification. Some of you might even need to cry. This is really saying that you are holding on to your emotions very tightly. You're keeping them maybe locked up, or you might even be sharing your deepest emotions, actually, in the polarity of that, some of you.